And we're back. All right, where were we? I know I'm running later this time than I was earlier. I apologize. Got into a fun conversation and then got here and realized I hadn't gotten my water for doing some water slides, but that's fine. Huh? What the conver- What my wheel of time conversation? Yeah, it's a good conversation. All right. So we need a little bit of silver left. Oh, let's actually get R. I don't want Gehenna. I don't want brass. There it is. We're going to use some Retributor Gold. Crack this open. It's almost time for a new pot of this. All right. So we've got, let's go ahead and across the hilt here. Not Space Wolves unless they have a little bling. All right. Get all of it. All right. Get our pommel. All righty. Now, there's a couple other things I want to knock out while I have this open. First, let's go ahead. We got a little band there, under there. You see on his grenade packing, and then on where is it? On the knife sheath, we're gonna knock across the buckle, as well as we're gonna knock that out right there. Probably not ever gonna look on behind there, but just because, let's knock it out. This will be much more seen potentially. And let's do here. Alrighty, so knock that out. Let's see if there's anything else we need to gold. It does not appear so. I think we're good on the gold. All right, so put that to the side. Now we are going to. You know what? Let's play around and get our. Is it Kislev I need yet? You know what? First, let's get out our Screaming Skull since that's what I found first. So there's Kislev. Where's my Cadian? There it is, right there. That was easy. All right, we're gonna do a little quick highlighting of his mask. Easy enough. All right, now we got our Arcadian flesh tone. We need to get a little bit in there. Nope, too far. Looks like he's got a scar running up his head. Looks like I actually already did Kislev. Oh well. No worries. All right. So I guess that means we can... Oh, that was Cadian, sorry. With Cadian, we haven't Kisleved. Alrighty. Ooh, don't fall. Alright, so. Just sort of bring it back, leave some of the other colors in shadow. Alrighty. So I think that's good. Now, I need... What do I want? What do I want for a scar? Like a nice pinkish purple. Oh, I forgot since you brought some stuff over to show off. Very cool. And very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Let me go set these right here. Sinjin, these look great. Just showed everybody. I set them there. Oh, I hate the sheer cloth. I hate the sheer cloth. Yeah. Ooh, looks cool though. Sadly, it's washing out under these lights.
Yeah, because it's under a white outfit, so it's like.
All right, what's a good? That's not a bad scar purple. We'll try this. We'll try this. All right. We're going to use Cacophony purple for a scar. All right, let's see if we can do this. Oh, dude, please don't be scared. The great thing about this paint and doing this is you can paint over it or take the paint off. It's only paint, dude. It's not. And I get it because it can be daunting, but don't let it be scary because it's a wonderfully fun, relaxing hobby that that can be very rewarding. To me, it's a zen thing. Unless I run up against a deadline, but yeah, I don't know if I like that purple. See, okay, case in point, we just did a purple for the scar. I don't know that I like it, but you know what I might do? I think maybe a touch of loam oil, or even, you know what? No. What if I did a touch of flesh shade on it, but without getting on the rest? So. Gotcha. Well, I mean, honestly, to me, the best way is to just do it. Get used to what you like, get some techniques down. Ooh, there we go. That actually darkens that up a little bit. I don't mind that at all now. It still looks weird. Eh. All right. So I need my white scar. There we go. Looks like my eyes are already dark enough in there. Let's see if we can give this guy some eyes. Did you just start the opening bars to Superstition? I swear to God, that's what it sounded like. Oh, okay. I got you now. Although I do love he had that great, like, it's an Eddie Murphy judge. It's all like Eddie Murphy. Which was the better of the two that nobody knew about? Right. All right, so we got it in there. My shoe. Yup. Yup. All right. Dude, I still get looks because nobody knows anymore. When I just look at somebody who's doing something stupid and I just go, goony goo goo. Now I gotta go listen to that whole thing again. I think I've owned that album on almost every way it would come since it came out. Well, since I was allowed to buy it on my own and it came out. All right, so still something not quite right about that scar to me. St. John, I got a question when you got a second. Scar color. I think I went too light. I tried to do a little flesh wash on it to tone it on his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
But it still looks too Crayola to me, if that makes sense. I don't know if I need a darker purple or what. Did I miss it?
Yeah.
I need new glasses.
I'm gonna tap it with a slight bit of white.
Okay. But was that purple right?
Yeah.
Tell you what, here. Is that purple right? If you want to look for reference. No, I'm like.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to go too light. I didn't want to go too dark.
I dropped those 3 dots.
Okay.
You can get this. That should be enough to be able to.
I almost had it.
Mm-hmm. Goes right there.
But that you think that purple's right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. See? And I'm always looking for more better advice. You know what I might do though? Use that as a highlight. There we go. Actually, yeah. That'll work. All right. Actually, you know what I think was nice? I did that, just put the purple over, just did the 3 dots over that. That actually highlighted it, and fixed everything. So putting the purple over the white in those spots. Thank you. That was exactly.
That's why I used
the. Yeah, because like in my, I was like, oh yeah, that works.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Sweet. All right. So I do believe we need to do a little bit of Eshin Gray. And I just have to find it. Okay. When I packed everything the other day to make room for this Titan. There's my Dawnstone. There it is. All right, so I'm going to use a little Eshin Gray. And we are going to carefully hit some of these notes here on his body glove. All right, a couple lines between these pieces, just doing a little highlighting. Can't forget his knee, which we can't even almost see. All right. Now, something I want to be very careful of. I'm going to pull out my lead belcher and carefully do some of his around his mask. It was pretty good. How about you? So that can be nice thing, but let's go ahead and just carefully, lightly brush over these so we can get some detail around it, but a hint of it, almost like I'm dry brushing, almost, but not quite. Just a hint. Make sure we got it. Looks like I drilled these barrels out, which is good. So where else? I know there's a couple spots I know I wanted to get as well. I want to go ahead and do a little bit here just as a sort of a highlight. And I'm gonna run the edges. You can't hear me? Odd. Is your volume turned up? Because I have not changed any settings here. First half went fine. So just checking. All right, got a little bit there. If anybody else has anything to add on whether I can be heard or not, please don't hesitate to chime in. So you turned it up. Got it. All right. Let's get these little pieces, and there's a little button there. Let's go ahead and just that. And these vents, I just like to give a little bit of the metal in there, a little love, just like that. All right. So he is almost done. We now have one more real big step before we can decal. And this should not take nearly as long as painting the rust gray. That is, I don't have the regular one. That's fine. We'll use, I do have the air with me, which is perfect for this. I'm going to use Fenrisian gray. And we're going to do a nice little edge highlight over most of the armor. Makes it pop just that little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and throw, we'll do a pack marking, and then we'll throw a couple decals on them. Since I was late getting the water for the transfer. So, all right. So let's start same way we started the other time. Let's just hit this, and we're just getting the edges of the armor. And it doesn't even have to be all of them if you don't want it to be. It can be the ones that you think benefit from wherever your light source is. All right, I'm not going to go crazy because, like I said, he's just a squatty. He's not even like the sergeant of the squad. We can see how that does make it pop a little bit more. We're just going to do a top-down light source Yes, barring me being sick again, which has just sucked. I got some kind of stomach virus last week. It was not fun. Enough that I mean, obviously didn't even come in for Tuesday. So all right. All right. Just keep working that. I want to get the top here of the backpack. All right, Cody. Well, have a good evening. Like I said, don't be deterred. If it's something you want to do, just do it. And like I said, I'll here on Tuesdays, or we'll find ways to get you into it if you'd like. Hawkeye was good. I wasn't the biggest fan of the new Matrix. Thought it was not subtle enough, if that makes sense. But I don't want to give anything away to those that haven't seen it. I mean, it was worth watching, and I've tried to watch it a second time. We just got distracted with the holidays, but some things I loved, some things I didn't. But that's me, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I got to see Spider-Man on Christmas, so I'm happy. All right, now, pretty much that's really the big spots that get highlighted. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit down here just to give it a little bit more flavor. We'll hit that. Let's hit the top of this knee pad. Do the top of the shoes, or this toes, I should say. Yep, cool. Like I said, I'm not going crazy on this. Just doing parts that I think will just make it pop when you look at it. But like I said, he is a rank and file dude. He does not deserve to go ham on. We do need to, though, however, get some places that make sense. There we go. All right, now let's do a pack marking, which I'm still missing my pencil. So I'm going to have to get one before we go crazy doing this later again. But I do need my Abaddon. There it is. Okay, and we're going to go simple for this one because, like I said, I don't have my pencil to make it easier. So I want to make sure that the paint is at the point of the brush, and let's just do a simple triangle. triangles are usually pretty easy. You can play with the edges until you get them pretty even. And just make sure they're nice and filled in. And we have a simple pack marking. Now I'm going to match that on his other knee pad. Well, I guess this is left knee pad. There we go. Simple pack marking, like simple. All right. I want to make sure it goes all the way to the edge though, because it looks like a little that blue is coming through. So let's just bring it to there. All right, and then a fun little thing you can do after you do a pack marking like that or something to really make it look like it's not just, hand painted, make it look like it's part of the dude's armor, is now I'm going to get Eshin Gray back. And since the way he's standing, right, this top line would be the highlighted line there. And then on his knee, you can just do the top little part of the peak. And then to really make it pop, Liz. Never mind. All right, now we're going to take a little Dawnstone. And get the center of it. And the tip of it.
Man, Bubba, I'm sorry.
All right, so now we've got little highlight. Yeah, I can't really see it. It's washing out a little bit, but highlighted pack marking, highlighted pack marking.
Back here.
All right, sorry. I had
brush glazing and stippling.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I had to work. Okay, now we are good to go. Let me double check. We are good to go on a couple transfers. So we need our transfer sheet. Let me get it from over here. And let's see what we're going to put on this guy.
Oh, I don't know if you heard. Madden passed away.
John?
Yeah, he just passed away.
I did not hear.
The news thing came across 85.
Wow. I'm not going to lie. I thought he had already passed away.
I know a lot of people that thought that. I did kind of thought that too, and I looked down and went, oh.
All right, so we're going to cut as close to the transfer as possible. We definitely need the shoulder one. Now, this may not work for a Phobos armored shoulder pad, so we're going to take a look real quick. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. All right, so we got one transfer. Now I want these little tiny ones for his knee pad. So we're going to do a little boop, 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 boop. And do we want to put anything interesting on them? I normally run campaign bandages, but I normally put it on their back leg here, and there's really this Phobos armor breaks it up too much, and I'd have to cut it. And we could, but why? However, let's see. Let's get, you know what? Let's get a small rune, because why not? And get this. And we'll throw this over his pack marking on his knee. So as you can see, I've got 3 transfers. 2 are very tiny, and 1 is a normal size-ish. All right, so before we actually start that, I need fair enough. Wow, seed mono silver. All right, so I start with Lamian medium, which you cannot read because it's so washed out. And let me find a good, where's my base brush? Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to brush this on the spots that are getting the transfers. So it's going to go here. And you can slather it on there. If it stays wet, that's fine. If it dries, it's fine. And then both knee pads. All right. We're done with our Lamian medium. All right, so we're going to wash our brush off. And now the fun part. You get that ready. Actually use, I use a small souffle container, souffle cup, I should say, something small that you're not going to lose the transfer in. Get your brush wet, and you can just tap it to the transfer and put the transfer in the water and let it sit for 30 seconds. So now's the fun part. You just got to count. "26 Mississippi, 27 Mississippi, 28 Mississippi, 29 Mississippi, 30 Mississippi." Okay. Now, sometimes you'll use older transfer sheets. If they're a little bit older, they may need a little bit longer in the water. This one, it's already actually falling off of the paper, which it just did. So we're going to gently grab it, and so we're having some difficulty. It just wrapped itself around the brush. You want to flatten it as much as possible. We're going to go ahead and use this paper towel to get a little bit of the water off the brush. And then we're going to unravel it on where it's going to go. Okay, now that is obviously not its final placement. You have plenty of time to get it in position. Sometimes getting your brush wet again. There we go. Now, the thing I've found over the years, especially with the Space Wolf emblem, is that it hates to conform to the shape of a shoulder pad. I don't know if you can see, it's got all kinds of bumps, and it just, I mean, you're putting a flat decal on a curved space. So first I want to get its placement a little bit better. Push it up just a little bit more. Try to get it as centered as possible. And actually needs to be a little bit, there we go. The clockwiseness was not right. So let's bring it down a little bit here. Get it back to center. Ooh, a little bit too far. Like I said, sometimes this takes a minute to get it in the exact right spot you want it and you're happy with it. Once you do, okay, so I like that there. I take a clean piece of paper towel and I fold it many times till I just get a little pad, and then I press directly and firmly onto the transfer. Do not slide it, do not move it, because that'll move the transfer. But what you're trying to do is you're pushing the decal, the transfer, so that all of the surface area touches, and you're also sucking out some of the moisture to let it adhere quicker. And as you can see, we still have a couple bumps, but it is nowhere near as bumpy as it was. So we can go back and push those spots and try to get it to be flush with the shoulder pad. And look at that. It is fairly flush with the shoulder pad, and we're going to let that dry for a second. However, we're going to now get our second piece, which is the tiny wolf emblem. So since at 30 it was falling off, let's go ahead and go to say 20, 25 and see where we look at, or see how it's looking. I have no idea because I was talking instead of counting. So we're just gonna guesstimate it. That sounds good. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this one out. And if you just get the, there you go. See, like it'll, well, you didn't see. It'll stick to your brush if you get it. So let's see. Let's pull some of the moisture off the brush. And it's just sort of having fun with, yeah, see, it comes right off. So we're going to get it off onto the tip of the brush. I don't know if you can see, you can't. All right, just like that. Let's see, it's very, just barely on the tip of my brush. This one should be a little easier because it's smaller area. Or it's not because it's a more domed area. At this point, be careful of where you're placing your fingers for support. You don't want to put your finger over the top of your other decals. Transfers, sorry. There we go. All right, so just like before, get my piece of paper towel and directly place, blah, I can't talk tonight. Directly place pressure. And there you go. We got a knee pad. Now let's do the rune. I'm gonna get that on there. Tell you what, let's pull this back in here so you can see what I'm doing. So, boop. 20, 25 seconds is probably sufficient. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's literally a clock up at the top. A countdown of how long we've been going. I could just use that in the future. I'm smart sometimes. It's okay. So we're gonna got about 5 seconds left after I finish saying this sentence. 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's take a look. And you can actually, well, you can't. There's too much. But the paper itself got translucent enough that you can actually see that it's a white decal on there. So we're gonna get that on our finger, dry our brush, start pulling it off. And yep, it sure did. Comes right off. But trying to stick to our finger. Now we get more moisture on the brush. try to get this decal off our finger. There we go. All right. So it kind of looks like a Z, but it actually goes up and down. So we're going to want to put that directly in the center of his knee, running up and down. Just for funsies. But this one isn't important, so if it doesn't work, you don't have to really sweat it. But I want it to work, so we'll make it work. That was too much. There we go. All right, so we get our piece of paper towel and firmly press. And we have our third decal. Transfer. Either way. All right, so we're actually done with it. Ooh, let's not spill it all over everything. All right, so we've done our 3 transfers. Now the final step is to get Ard coat, which is the gloss coat. Okay. This actually blends the glossiness of the transfer into its surrounding areas. Now, granted, it's making it all glossy, but that's the point right now. It's making it so it's not any different than its background. And then when we go back over the top of the whole thing with Storm Shield, it makes the decal transfer disappear. It's actually kind of awesome. So, all right. So we're going to start with the driest one first, and we're just gonna I'm gonna paint all around it. The more, I mean, you don't have to paint the whole model, but the more, like, I'd paint the whole shoulder pad for sure, because that's gonna make all of that look the same when it gets storm shielded. All right, then get the knee pad. Now, if you haven't done the paper towel trick, it may be too wet and you may start moving the transfer, which you don't want to do. So make sure you either do the paper towel trick or make sure it's sufficiently dry before you do this. All right, so that is an almost finished model. All we need to do is let that dry, and then we're going to knock it down with some Storm Shield, and we will be done with one of the 5 in that squad. But that's fine. We got something else we can work on tonight, and I want to work on more of that. All right, so let's take a look while we're waiting for that to dry. It's kind of hard to tell when gloss dries, but you know what? That's fine. So yeah, he's sufficiently space wolfy. The Hounds of Morkai. That's how I'm going to denote my Hounds of Morkai. They're going to have that rune on that knee pad. Otherwise, they'll just be Reavers. You know, I think I've done the sergeant for this squad, and I hope I did the same pack marking, now that I think about it. Oof. All right. We'll take a look at him in a second. We'll go grab him in a second. So you know, while that's drying, let me go grab him. All right, cool. So, good news is I did not use a different pack marking. Bad news is he's not as done as I thought he was. He's still got some work to do. So I guess I have something to do for the next little bit, is we can finish him up. He's much further along than when we started him, because he's already got we've already got the yellow done. We've already got the main rust gray done. We've just got to finish, looks like, the leather and some little bits and his hair, and yeah, finish his shoulder pads. So cool. Well, we can finish the sergeant, because I mean, I ripped up a lieutenant model for it, but he's still a cool sergeant. All right, so that being said, let's take a look. Touch his shoulder. Fairly dry. I love GW paints. They dry pretty quick. It's a little tacky, so but that's okay. let's get our storm shield. And let's get our big hobo brush. Dun, dun. All right, so I do want to be careful since I've already based this model. I don't want to get this storm shield and stuff on the snow part. So I have to be careful when I get down to the feet. We're going to start where I normally start. Just start in the center of the model, work our way down. Get the base so that we can touch it. Pull out some of that excess because I know it got in there. Let's go ahead and get up here. Make sure we pull out any of the stuff that might start turning blue if it doesn't dry right. And we could use a little more for the top. Let's go ahead and make sure we get that shoulder pad. Alrighty. And as you can see already, that the shine has gone off that shoulder pad and it looks painted on now. As do the knee pads. So that's a good way. That's how you make your water slide transfers pretty seamless. Let's go ahead and get the rest. There's a little pooling. Don't want that. Alrighty. So there is a Hound of Mordecai finished up. And real quick though, let me wash this brush off thoroughly. All right, so remember when we started, we were here, and now that is our completed. He's still a little glistening as the storm shield dries, but he's looking good. He's definitely tabletop ready to go. So let's pop him off. Set him over here. Hey, Kmart. Let's put the sergeant on, and let's finish him up. So first thing I want to do is let's pay attention. Let's get the Scrag Brown out. For two reasons. One, we can knock out the leather because it looks like I already did the Mornfang on him. It's been so long since I touched this one. There's no telling. So we can easy peasy knock this out.
Wow. They went very easy on people. They're not, the first sentence is not known until the player's statue.
All right. And get these leg straps. Let's go ahead and all right, let's get this side. All right. Keep wrapping it under. And so this one is just a normal pistol holster. He didn't get the cool grapple. So I'm going to do kind of what I did for the sheath. It actually sort of gives me some direction here. Let's see. So we're going to make our own sort of highlights running through, get sort of a ripple effect. And then make sure we get the belt running through here. And all right, and then let's get this leg strap. As it goes over these extra grenades, I'm guessing. All right, then the other thing I want to do with Scrag Brown is we're going to paint his hair Scrag Brown. He's got a nice widow's peak, so we make sure we get it.
So I'm taking it. It's not essential.
All right.
Been there for a while.
Oh, I just painted his ear. Oh well. All right. So we've got the base for his hair, and we did the highlights for. Am I missing? Sure am. Thought that was a shadow at first. There you go. All right. So we got a base of his hair, the highlights for the leather. We need, I guess we should go gold next. Actually, no. Let's go Abaddon. Because we've got all kinds of over dry brush on this gun. The inside definitely as well. Man, these YouTube bots are getting me again. This needs to, yeah, stop right there is fine. Which means this can stop right here. All right, and then we've got, let's get his body glove. That's good. All right, let's go ahead. Yeah. So back here, this knee joint definitely needs some negative spacing. And this piece here. Carefully get up in his armpit. Technically his hand here. Get his other armpit. Excuse me. All right. Now, and that can hold. All right. So I think we got everything back cleaned up that we needed to. That looks weird. Some metallic still peeking through there. All right. That was nice. Now, you know what I didn't do? I need to get my Scrag Brown back out. I forgot about something.
Yeah, it was Monte Carlo.
This one's got a goatee.
Oh, really? Did it get that bad?
All right. Now, got that done. Got his goatee. Forgot about his goatee. Let's go ahead and get our retributor. So, all right. So let's start. I don't know what this is, but it's going to be gold. It's just sort of a not quite dagger. It's a ceremonial thing. It'll be a battle honor. And then there. Oh my God, they're so loud. right. All right, got his knife.
I don't know. You can do it. I can do a lot. Oh, stuff too. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah. Okay. If we just move this along, so you're done already.
Oh, he's got the same markings on his backpack, so let's fold it up a little. All righty, and oh yes, he has a plate on his shoulder pad. Make sure you follow the scroll around. All righty. I think, nope. Get those little buckles. And he's coming together. So, all right, so we're gonna put that to the side. Now, I'm gonna use a small dry brush, and I need, let's go ahead with the Morghast bone, because that's a little bit darker than the Screaming Skull. A little bit on our dry brush, and set it aside. We don't need a whole lot. All right, now we're going to run it across all that scrag brown we put on his hair. And the hard part is going to be, yeah, we're going to go ahead and clean that off. And we're going to get, hopefully, someone with a better tip. We're just going to get a little bit, just a little bit. And let's see if we can get his goatee. There we go. Nice. All right, so let me take a quick sip real quick. Okay, we need Mephiston Where you at, Mephiston? Where did you get put? There you are, right there. We don't need him for a whole lot, but we do need him. We got a Purity Seal. I think that should be all I need it for. So we can close Mephiston back up. And then get our Eshin Gray out. All right, and then there, a little bit under there, and a little bit under here. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get out Kislev, and we're going to make sure that we get over the nose and everything where I may have dry brushed the bone onto too much.
Don't forget the feet. They shared admissions feet. They were on part 5. And I looked down there, there's a toe sticking out.
There we go. So I think we got a nice expressive face going on here. So let's see if we can finish that up real quick by washing that off. Run over to the Abaddon.
Funny thing is, I think about the D&D game, like, I play Dwarf. The Dwarves in my world are French accents.
Oh, her French accent isn't why I call her.
There we go. And actually, I'll put gold thread in for this. I need like a thicker thing. Actually, no, I have. No, we're going to use Palette Witch.
Dry brush the wall. Be careful not to change your colors. includes life.
All right. Got it in there, but jacked it up a little bit. Y'all can maybe see. But it's no problem. We use our mid-flush tone, Cadian. We go back in and fix. Like here, where I got the white on his nose. And here, where it's a little bit too much on his eyebrow and his cheek. Damn right. Let's go. Brush lickers unite. All right. Let's take a look. There we go. We got some nice. You know what? We're going to actually use a little bit of Morghast. We're just going to do. There we go. Hey, Brandon. How you been? I said, how have you been?
I've been good. How are you?
Pretty good.
That's good. What are you working on?
Some Hounds of Mordecai. Getting ready. Huh?
Sounds stupid.
Yeah. They're kind of awesome.
All right, cool.
Getting ready for the Crusade escalation we have starting next week.
Oh, okay. I tried to ask you if the theme this month was Christmas. You ain't never tell me.
I didn't never see a message or anything.
I had a red receipt from you. So, yeah, I tried asking you a few weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go take a look. I do not. If I read it, then it was in the middle of doing something, and I was like, maybe I'll. And then I'm old.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So.
To be fair, I should have followed up probably.
I'll
probably do this coming month. Whatever.
Yeah. There. Hold on.
It's all right.
That's how that works.
Hey.
Oh, your hand's so cold. Why did you just play with you? I mean, did you just wash your hands?
I just watched them.
Okay.
So many cold water.
Are you just gonna ask me?
Shh, hold on.
I'm out, dude.
All right.
See you later.
Bye. All right, so we've got we got his pack marking, and you know what? Got to finish the purity seal. And you know what? Let's go ahead and get a different purple. No, you know what? Let's use Cantor Blue. Cantor Blue is a good blue. Why do I have a feeling I was just voluntold about something? All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and do. Where is? I need my. Okay, I'm Mephiston, but I don't want Mephiston. Where's my evil sons? I have a second Abaddon. I'm over here worried about not about to run out of Abaddon Black, and I have a whole second box of it or bottle of it. There it is. God, I'm blind. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out Evil Sons. First thing we're gonna do with Evil Sons is and we're gonna use this as the base.
No, it's just utilization.
Oh no, it's 9 o'clock. I just realized, man, I just was in a zone. We're done. Even though I started late, I can paint a little bit more. It's okay. Whoop. Let's see. I guess we could use our Abaddon. Let's do the pack marking on his knee. We don't really need to do it on a shoulder pad because it's got a sergeant marking. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Ooh.
I'm on heavier metal. I'm on PUP painters, painters. I'm on most of
I'm jacking this one up. That's all right. We'll go back and we'll fix that in a second. All right. We now need to, I don't know. I don't think I will need to get into edge highlighting right now. That's going to take longer than the few minutes we've got. But, yeah, we can call it. No, you know what? I don't want to call it. I want to fix his knee that I just messed up. So. It is such a weird angle. That reminds me, where's my car? All right. I think we're going to call that a good night. So basically, what we did over the two, we took a Hound of Mordecai from this step to finished. So we have a finished Hound of Mordecai, Space Wolf Reaver, basically, but specialized with transfers and everything, pack marking. And then realized we hadn't finished this guy, so we got close to finishing this guy. So anyway, kind of awesome. Tomorrow from 6 to 9, we will be doing our regular paint party. So hopefully you will join us. Remember, you are actually capable of joining us during that. So hopefully you will. And I hope you all have a great night. And I will see you tomorrow. And remember, Gamers and Geeks, it is not just a game store. It's a gaming community. I got a 6, but this still sucked. So there we go. Haha. All right. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Bye.